Scroll 3, A Blade of Ash. Thump, thump, thump. Each footstep echoes through the abandoned market. The dusty square, their awnings torn and faded, broken pottery crunches under Kaizen's paws. The smell of old fish clings to the air, mixing with rotting vegetables and moldy grain spilling from overturned cart. A shrine stands at the market center, once painted red and gold, now cracked and gray. Prayer ribbons hang limp from its eaves, faded, forgotten, like everything else in this place. The townsfolk scatter before him. Doors slam, shutters bang closed. Mothers pull children inside, but the whispers follow. It's the heavy wolf. Death lives in his shadow, killing without hesitation. Kaizen doesn't look at them. His breath comes slow, steady, mechanical. The chains of his weighted armor rattle with each step. His left shoulder, where the rhino's horn tore through, sends fresh spikes of pain through his body. The makeshift bandages beneath his damaged armor already soaked through. The straps grown, weakened. Around his neck, hidden beneath the armor and mail, the pendant, carved with love, worn by his son, delivered by his brother, delivered by his enemy. They're right to fear me. Ahead, in the shadow of a broken shrine, a figure waits. Massive, unmoving, patient. Kaizen stops 20 paces away. Isamu! The bull turns, and his face transforms. Not fear. Not readiness for battle. Joy. Pure, overwhelming, impossible joy? Kaizen? Isamu's voice cracks. His eyes go wide. The iron staff nearly slips from his fingers. Kaizen? You're alive? You're alive? For a heartbeat, he just stares, like the world just rewrote itself into something miraculous. One hand rises, reaching across the distance between them. I thought. He takes a step forward, hope bleeding through every word. The fire. I thought you were dead. I've been hunting for 8 years, and now you're here? Don't! Kaizen's voice cuts the air like a blade. Isamu's hand stops mid-reach. The joy drains from his face, one feature at a time. You gave him this. Kaizen pulls the pendant from beneath his armor, holds it up, and the chain stained with ash, with blood. The carved bull catches the gray afternoon light. Isamu's eyes lock onto it. His face goes white. That's Kiba's. How did you? Your bandit had it. Kaizen's fist closes around the pendant, ward around his neck like a trophy. What bandit? Kaizen, I don't. The rhino, the one who gave me this, with his dying breath, told me you were waiting here. Kaizen's claws dig into his palm around the pendant. The same bandits that burned my dojo 8 years ago. I've been hunting those bandits, Isamu's voice breaks, for 8 years, trying to find who was responsible. Liar! Kaizen draws his swords. The sound rings through the empty market. Steel on steel, a promise of violence. My bandits? Isamu's staff comes up, defensive, desperate. I take bounties, Kaizen. Please. I am done. Kaizen lunges. Strike, block, clang, clang. No flow, no grace, just mechanical efficiency. Blades that cut, but don't sing. Isamu blocks, retreats. Kaizen, stop! Clang, clang, clang. The sound echoes, empty, hollow. There is a bounty on your head, Isamu shouts over the clash of steel and iron. I took the contract. Didn't know it was you. Anonymous, just said, the heavy wolf, market, tomorrow. Clang! Another strike, another block. You expect me to... The pattern. Isamu's breath comes ragged between the blocks. The same channels, same people, 8 years ago. His staff sweeps wide. I thought if I followed it, I could trace it back and find who... He swallows hard, desperation cracking through. Then I see you, alive, after all this time. My son wore that pendant, Kaizen says quietly, deadly, every single day. He believed you'd protect him because you promised. Kaizen, we're hunting the same people. Then who put the bounty on me? I don't know. It was all anonymous. They're playing us against each other. Kaizen's claws dig into his palms. Still, I expect you to remember who I am, Izumu roars. Remember the vow I made to you, to your family, to you, my brother. We were brothers. Were, past tense, because I destroyed that too. Izumu's staff whistles through the air. Horizontal sweep aimed at Kaizen's ribs. Kaizen blocks. The impact shudders up his arms, into his wounded shoulder. White-hot pain explodes through damaged muscle. He steps inside Izumu's guard, too close for a long staff, brings both swords up. Izumu headbutts him. Those massive horns slam into Kaizen's chest plate. The impact lifts him off his feet, sends him stumbling backward. Blood fills Kaizen's mouth. He spits it out, red on gray stone. Izumu resets his stance, breathing hard, sweat beading on his forehead, still leaving your center open. The familiar critique, the one he'd give 1,000 times in training. Stop. Don't think about training. Don't remember. Clang! The fight continues, faster, more desperate. Both warriors aging, both carrying wounds, both fighting with everything they have. And as the battle rages, the world around them begins to soften, changing, becoming something else. The gray stone fades. Sunlight streams through open windows, painting everything honey gold. The smell of jasmine tea and fresh bread fills the air. Minami hums in the kitchen, her voice like wind chimes on a summer breeze. Sitting cross-legged on the floor is Izumu. Younger, eyes brighter, smile easier. No weight of the world on his broad shoulders yet. The same bull who stood beside Kaizen at his wedding, who held Kiba as a newborn and wept with joy, who promised to always be there. Young Kiba, barely 6 years old, his sandy gold fur still puppy soft, climbs all over Uncle Izumu, like the bull is a mountain made for conquering. Izumu lets him, laughing as small paws tug on his horns. Uncle Izumu, watch this! Kiba waves a wooden practice sword, comically too big for his small paws. Show me, little warrior. Kiba swings wildly, all enthusiasm, and nearly topples over. Izumu's hand steadies him without making it obvious, preserving the pup's pride. Excellent form, Izumu grins at Kaizen, who settles beside them with a steaming tea. He's got your discipline already, brother. And your stubbornness, Kaizen adds, his voice light with affection that life hasn't yet crushed. Manami joins them, her golden jackal coat shimmering in the afternoon light, placing honey cakes within easy reach. Don't encourage him, you two. He already thinks he's invincible. Wonder where he gets that from, Izumu says, looking pointedly at Kaizen. From Uncle, obviously, Kaizen grins. The same uncle who cried at our wedding. I did not cry. You sobbed through the entire ceremony, Manami's eyes danced with mischief. Those were manly tears of joy, Izumu protests, but he's smiling. Besides, someone had to make sure this wolf treated you right. They both laughed. Everything good exists right here in this moment. What should have lasted forever. Izumu reaches into his pack, slow and purposeful. Actually, I made something for the little warrior. He pulls out a carved pendant. A bull, polished smooth as riverstone, small enough for a child, but detailed enough to be precious. Every groove and curve worked with patient care. Brothers take care of each other's families. Izumu loops the chain over Kiba's head with careful hands. The pendant rests against the pup's chest. Now you carry the strength of the bull wherever you go. And wherever you wear this, you remember Uncle Izumu will always protect you. Always. Kiba's eyes go wide. He touches the pendant with reverent pause, tail swishing with quiet wonder. Really? I can keep it forever? Forever and always, little warrior. That's a promise. Kaizen's throat tightens. Manami wipes her eyes. Stay for dinner, Isamu, please? Thought you'd never ask. The afternoon dissolves into warmth and laughter, and the absolute certainty that this family, this bond, this love will last forever. Izumu meets Kaizen's eyes, and the bond between them is solid as stone. Your family is my family, Your son is my nephew, and I'll die before I let anything happen to any of you. That's an oath. Crack! The fire licks. Across memory, Kaizen's eyes snap open. The wooden floors burn to ash. Laughter dies in smoke. The colors drain, pulled into the gray stone emptiness. He's on the ground. Izumi's staff caught me across the temple when I was. He rolls, barely dodges up a follow-up strike that shatters the stone where his head was a heartbeat ago. Back to blood, back to betrayal, back to the market where brothers become enemies. Distracted. Can't afford that. Not here. Not now. Kaizen springs to his feet. His armor groans. His shoulder screams. His vision doubles, clears, focuses on the bull standing before him. Izumi circles, staff ready. Pain in his eyes now, deep, soul-crushing. You remembered, Izumi says quietly. I saw it in your face. You went back there. Kaizen says nothing, just raises his swords. Those were good days, Kaizen. The best. Izumi's voice cracks. Brothers in the ring. Brothers in everything. I meant every word of that oath. Don't do this. Don't make me remember when all I have left is revenge. Izumu shifts his stance. Kaizen sees it before it begins. The weight shifting, the shoulder dropping, the staff beginning its rotation. Masters forbidden technique. The backstrike, trading honor for advantage, safety for a killing blow. Desperate enough to use it. Izumu spins. The staff whistles through the air, but Kaizen saw it coming before Izumu even began. One step, inside the arc, one pivot. The staff passes over his shoulders by inches. One strike. His blade finds the gap in Izumu's armor, below the ribs, above the hip. Deep enough to matter, but not deep enough to kill. Not yet. The bull's eyes go wide, not with pain, with shock. Izumu crashes to his knees. His staff clatters away across the stone. Blood seeps between his thick fingers as he clutches his side. You. The bull's voice comes in gasp. Still remember that counter. Kaizen stands over him, sword raised, the finishing blow ready. End it. He tried to kill you. He used the forbidden technique. Now, end it. The market is silent except for Izumu's ragged breath. The whispers have stopped. Even the wind holds its breath. Kaizen's blade begins its descent. Clang! The sound echoes. Kaizen freezes. One of his shoulder weights, the left one, where the rhino's horn shattered the armor plate, breaks free. The damaged straps finally give way. The weight crashes to the stone. The sound rolls across the marketplace. Lighter. His left side is lighter. The fallen weight, the broken straps, the red. The gray world cracks. For the first time in 8 years, Kaizen sees color. Red pooling beneath Izumu, spreading across the gray stone like spilled paint. Vivid, screaming, impossible to ignore. Red on his blade, dripping, each blood, each drop, each one catching light as it falls. Red on his paws, his gauntlets, staining the silver blue fur beneath the armor. My brother's blood. On my hands. I did this. Izumu's eyes flutter open. Finds Kaizen's face. Blood bubbles at his lips. Perhaps. The words came out weak but clear. You're not the wolf they said you are. Perhaps. You still remember who you used to be. Then his eyes close. Unconscious. Not dead. But the red remains. Vivid against the gray. Accusation written in blood. Kaizen's sword hand trembles. He stares at it. The blade, the blood, the paw holding both. What have I become? He sheathes his sword slowly, steps back from the spreading pool of red. The rhino, when he gave me this pendant, smiled like he won something. What if I've been chasing shadows while the real enemy watches and laughs? Kaizen turns away. Thump, thump, thump. His footsteps echo through the empty market, each one heavier despite being lighter on one side. The remaining weights crush him beneath their burden. Behind him, Isamu breathes raggedly. The whispers start again, creeping from the doorways. The heavy wolf spared him. He's still a monster. Look at all that blood. Kaizen doesn't look back, just keeps walking, away from his brother, away from the red, away from the truth he's not ready to face. Someone out there is responsible. Someone burned the dojo. Someone orchestrated that night. The pattern, same channels, same intermediaries, same people. The path ahead stretches into gray, but now he knows the gray is a lie. The color is still there, hidden, waiting. Red like blood, like guilt, like the truth he's been evading for 8 years. Clang, clang, clang. The sound of his remaining weights, the chain he still carries. But one is gone, one has fallen. And for the first time since the fire, Kaizen wonders if he's been hunting the wrong enemy all along. The pendant grows heavy around his neck. Not a promise anymore, a question. And somewhere in the gray distance, someone is laughing. End of scroll 3. Next, scroll 4, the Pacino Cafe. Lesson learned. Sometimes the chains we carry aren't placed on us by our enemies. Sometimes we forge them ourselves out of grief. And the hardest thing is admitting we might be wrong.